against Obama after his poll numbers collapse, Mrs. Clinton. I doubt that they have the brains to do so. By the way, if you'd like to read more about this, I have articles in one box on michaelsavage.com. I want to thank every one of you who have taken time out to send a check or a PayPal to the Savage Defense Fund. And again, I'm going to have to say to you, I can see what's coming. If you got some extra dough and you want to send it, go ahead and do so, because I can see what's coming. I now see a total collusion between the Obama administration and the Brown administration. I see total conspiracy between the U.S. government and the British government. Why do I say that? Because there was no reason for the British government to come up out of the blue and say we didn't consult the United States on Michael Savage exclusion. Why would they do this all of a sudden? Why in the world would the British government do this now, July 1st? Why? Can somebody explain to me why they would do it out of the blue? Unless they were getting pressure somewhere to cover their tracks. My suspicion is that the Obama administration is worried that it will be traced back to them, and they told their British cohorts to come out with a statement that they never discussed it, but now they discussed it all of a sudden. Savage's show is not broadcast in Britain. All of these sound bites that were taken out of context and repackaged by that evil Stalinist group, Media Matters, created by George Soros and Hillary Clinton, by the way, they did it specifically to smear me. Just as in the ex-Soviet Union, they smeared writers and artists and politicians and intellectuals who did not go along with the Soviet-style government. That's what was done to Michael Savage. I am the victim, and I will not rest until they are exposed. I will not rest until my name is exonerated. If you think that I've stopped fighting because I don't talk about it, you're mistaken. I'm spending a lot of time on this and a lot of money on this, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. And now that I see there's clear evidence that the Obama administration, in fact, did collude with the UK government, I'm going to fight even harder. And we will find out who in the U.S. government did this. It could bring down a government. My lawyers are working on it around the clock. They will get to the bottom of this with your help. Just as Jackie Smith was forced to resign, they say because of her allegedly inappropriate expense claims, it is interesting that she resigned the day I filed a libel lawsuit against Jackie Smith in early June. It's interesting that she resigned the very day that I filed that lawsuit, is it not? So therefore, why did Obama's minions choose today to come up with a PR story? British government, we didn't consult the United States on Michael Savage exclusion. Why did they ask their socialist colleagues in England, who are in free fall, in collapse, with a conservative government clearly going to take over in England? Why did they get their socialist companions in England to do this now? Does anyone have an idea on this? I'll be right back.
Is your inheritance stuck in probate? Inheritance Funding Company can advance you the cash you need in as little as 72 hours. Go to inheritancefunding.com or call 877-YOU-AIR. That's 877-YOU-HEIR.
The Savage Nation.
And I'm always like, yes.
Weekday afternoons 3 to 7. Talk 910 KNEW.
I didn't think that this topic would come up again for quite a while until I file my lawsuit, which I've been holding off on doing because we have been trying to use diplomatic channels to get my name off the list and go away, friends, and that's the end of it. But I just saw an article, came out on Newsmax. It says 5:08 p.m. Eastern. It says, British government says we did not consult the United States on Michael Savage exclusion. Now, why would they come up with that out of the blue? What would motivate the British government to suddenly say that the U.S. government had nothing to do with putting Michael Savage on the ban list? It's been my assertion from the beginning that the Obama administration picked Michael Savage to use the fairness doctrine in a roundabout manner because they know that there's no political currency right now to push a fairness doctrine when they have to first push socialized medicine, cap and trade, thievery, you name it. They have many, many other things to do and to destroy America and turn it into a Marxist state before they go after the talk show hosts. We're the last on their list. But they figured they could start it by putting my name over in England making me into the equivalent of a murderer for speaking my mind. After all, Jackie Smith said that I actually engaged in criminal behavior, which is clearly libelous. She didn't say that I said things that are hateful, hurtful, or threatening. She said I engaged in criminal behavior. Now, if you think that free speech is criminal behavior, then you're ready to live in the ex-Soviet Union. I'm not. And I will seek the truth continuously. That's what I'm going to do. Right now, I have a biographer who's working on my life story. This is going to just make the book that much more interesting to millions of readers in England and America. Eventually, the truth will come out. How it will come out, why it'll come out, I don't know. But that the British government would come out today and say, we didn't consult the United States. Who asked them to say that? Why did they say it all of a sudden? Is anyone listening to this show who can answer that question? Why would this article appear July 1, 2009? Nobody forced the British government to say that it never consulted with President Obama's administration before putting Michael Savage on a list of people barred from entering the country. No one said that. And by the way, if this keeps up, I've done some investigation. Apparently, the Republic of Ireland is not in the United Kingdom. I'm pleased to hear it. I like the Irish an awful lot. And if I choose to go to that region of the world, I think I'll fly into Shannon Airport or wherever it is, and I think I'll have a press conference across the border in Ireland, and I will speak about freedom of speech from Ireland, not from the oppressive royalist nation of England. Miami, Florida. Lori, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Hello, Dr. Savage. You know, the Obama administration is proving indirectly once again that it is modeled on the Soviet model. And this business of the UK coming out now and denying that they consulted or were consulted by the Obama administration is typical of that Soviet model. Remember when the Soviets would deny that they'd done something and you could bet your life that the opposite was true?
Yeah, but why today? Why did it come up today? Why today? Why did it come up out of the blue? There was no necessity for them to do this.
The pressure was on, and I think that what they want to do is they want to quell any sort of support you may be giving for any of the Tea Parties.
Well, first of all, a leading conservative member of Parliament in Britain is the individual asking what discussions the British government has had with the U.S. administration on the creation of the list of foreign nationals barred from entry into the UK, with particular reference to the inclusion of Michael Savage in that list. So the Conservative Party is my hope here. I have given up hoping that Gordon Brown would ever do anything that is correct and for democracy. Gordon Brown is a lifetime left-wing radical who will only do evil. He has wrecked the economy of England. He has stolen the freedom of the British people. And so, therefore, I have no hopes that he will do the right thing and avoid this lawsuit, and I'm going to go ahead and have to drop this lawsuit. And I have to tell you right now, I've been told that it could cost me approximately $1 million to do this. I mean, I haven't given you numbers until now. And England is different than the United States in lawsuits that I learned. I kind of much knew it. First of all, their libel laws are different, and it's much easier to prove libel in England than here. That's the good news for me, because she did libel me by saying I engaged in criminal acts, which I didn't. Okay, that's number one. The other news is this, and here's the somewhat bad news. If you bring a lawsuit in England and you lose, you pay all of the other guy's fees, the other side's fees. Unlike in America, which is run by criminal gangsters, the legal profession is run by criminal gangsters, where they encourage lawsuits, clogging the courts, destroying the law itself. In England, if you lose, you pay the other side. I'm not going to lose this one. I'm going to win it, because my lawsuit is very narrowly defined with regard to her statement that I committed criminal acts. I certainly have not committed criminal acts. She may not like what I said, even though what I said was not what she thinks I said, because my show was never broadcast in England. So therefore, I will file this lawsuit. Now I'm going to do it. I was trying to use the diplomacy, but I could see now that this group of scoundrels in the Gordon Brown administration are so deeply enmeshed in the Obama administration that I have no chance of getting any fairness from them. Therefore, I will seek a jury trial in England. That's all there is to it. And then when my biography comes out, or my book comes out, I'm going to have two things coming out next year, God willing. One is a book called Banned in Britain, which I hope to have out around Labor Day. This will be in the book. This story is going in that book. And then there's the biography being written by Professor Ellis Washington that will be out in, I don't know, a year. We don't know. It's a long, big project. So there's a lot going on. I usually become very productive in the summers. One thing I will not be doing this summer is jogging in Marcy Park. I will not be flying east to jog in that park. 1-800-449-8255, michaelsavage.com. British government says we did not consult the United States on Michael Savage exclusion. It's intriguing to me that Newsmax would publish this, and I wonder why they published it right now and why all of a sudden Britain would be saying that they had nothing to do with the Obama administration. What is going on? Why in the world would Gordon Brown say that they didn't discuss it before the exclusion, but they have since discussed it? You know about post-dated checks?